What if the Jefferson nickel you've ignored for years is actually a hidden fortune? Most people think nickels are worthless, but 3 rare Jefferson nickel coins, because of wartime silver content, rare dates, and powerful minting errors, are now worth thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Collectors are desperately hunting these coins, and one tiny detail can turn a 5-cent coin into a life-changing treasure. Before you spend or throw away another Jefferson nickel, watch closely, because you might already own one of the most valuable Jefferson nickels ever made.
Imagine holding in your hand a coin that millions of Americans used every single day without a second thought, yet hidden within that ordinary piece of metal lies a story of American pride, craftsmanship, and quiet evolution. The 1998 Jefferson nickel may look like any other 5-cent piece, but behind its simple design is a legacy that connects generations of mint workers, designers, and collectors from the Great Depression to the digital age. In this video, we will uncover everything about the 1998 Jefferson nickel, its origins, its subtle design, details, its production secrets, the historical context that shaped its creation, the mint marks, errors, and varieties that make certain examples worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars, and why. This small coin still matters to numismatists today. If you think every nickel looks the same, think again, because the 1998 Jefferson tradition of American artistry and symbolism, built around Thomas Jefferson, one of the nation's founding fathers. By 1998, this coin had already been in production for 60 years, and though its design had remained largely unchanged since its introduction by sculptor Felix Schlag, it had become a living timeline of minting technology, evolving metal compositions, and national identity. During the late 1990s, the United States Mint was undergoing major modernization programs after decades of mechanical upgrades. The Philadelphia and Denver mints were operating with high-speed presses capable of producing billions of nickels each year. The 1998 production reflected this efficiency, combined with remarkable consistency in strike quality and detail. Yet despite technological precision, the 1998 issue stands out for subtle but significant factors that attract collectors today. In 1998, the Mint produced Jefferson nickels at 2 main locations, Philadelphia and Denver. The Philadelphia mint pieces bore no mint mark as was customary after 1980, while the Denver mint pieces carried the small letter T located to the right of Monticello on the reverse side. The San Francisco Mint also struck a limited number of proof coins specifically for collectors, which featured a deep cameo mirror finish produced by multiple high-pressure strikes using specially polished dies. These proof coins from the San Francisco Mint are among the most visually stunning examples of the 1998 Jefferson nickel. Their brilliance, depth, and crispness make them favorites for presentation sets and proof collections. Across America, the design itself is a continuation of Felix Schlag's 1938 creation. The obverse features a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, his gaze calm and dignified, symbolizing intellect and leadership. The inscriptions, "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" frame his profile along with the date, 1998, and the mint mark. If present on the reverse side stands Monticello Jefferson's Virginia home, a neoclassical architectural masterpiece that represents his vision of Enlightenment architecture, and self-sufficiency beneath it. The word Monticello sits in bold lettering followed by the denomination 5 cents and the nation's title United States of America. Though these design elements had persisted for decades, the quality of their impression in 1998 was sharper and more refined than in earlier years. Because of improvements in die engraving and planche preparation, the fields were smoother, the lettering more defined, and the steps of Monticello more visible, leading to what collectors often call the full steps designation. The full steps designation is a critical detail for numismatists. It refers to coins where the steps at the base of Monticello are fully struck and distinct from each other without blending or flattening due to die wear or insufficient pressure. A 1998 Jefferson nickel with full steps is significantly rarer and more valuable than a typical circulation strike. Such coins demonstrate precision striking conditions and perfect die alignment for collectors searching through rolls of nickels or uncirculated mint sets. The thrill of discovering a 1998 full steps nickel is comparable to finding buried treasure because it proves the coin left the press in near flawless condition. The 1998 minting year is also important because it preceded a major transitional period for the series, Only a few years later in 2004 and 2005, the United States Mint would redesign the reverse of the nickel as part of the Westward Journey series, marking the bicentennial of the Lewis and Clark expedition that shift-ended over 6 decades of uninterrupted use of Schlag's design. Thus, 1998 represents one of the last years of the classic Jefferson nickel in its original form, before the changes that would redefine. The coin's appearance for a new generation collectors who value historical continuity view the 1998 issue as the close of an era, a bridge between the traditional and the modern in terms of mintage. The Philadelphia Mint produced approximately 630 million nickels, while the Denver Mint contributed over 570 million, making the total mintage exceed 1.2 billion pieces. Despite this massive number, the condition of the coins varies widely due to handling and circulation wear. Most examples show dull surfaces and worn steps, but uncirculated and proof strikes maintain strong luster and high detail. Proof coins from San Francisco numbered around 2 million and are readily available, but still hold collector interest due to their exceptional strike, and finish error coins from 1998 add another layer of intrigue to the story off-center strikes. Broad strikes, clipped planchets, and die cracks occasionally emerged from the mint that year. While quality control had improved compared to earlier decades, human and mechanical factors still allowed minor flaws to escape into circulation. Certain errors, especially those with dramatic off-centering or double strikes, can command high prices among specialists who seek rare manufacturing anomalies. The most desirable examples often combine minting mistakes with full steps or uncirculated surfaces, multiplying their value and appeal. The composition of the 1998 Jefferson nickel followed the standard post-war formula of 75% copper and 25% nickel, a balanced alloy chosen for its durability, resistance to corrosion, and ease of minting. Though lightweight, the coin's metallic mixture gives it a distinctive silvery hue and a pleasing ring when dropped on a hard surface by the 1990s. The mint's supply chain for nickel and copper was fully stabilized, ensuring consistent quality and uniform toning across the nation's production. The planchets were prepared by cutting blanks from long metal strips, then annealed, cleaned, and fed into high-speed presses that struck each coin with tens of tons of pressure in milliseconds. This process resulted in sharp reliefs, but occasional striking weakness in high points of Jefferson's cheek or the dome of Monticello still occurred, leading to grading differences among otherwise identical pieces. Grading is another essential aspect of the 1998 Jefferson nickel's numismatic profile coins are typically evaluated on a 70-point scale developed by the Sheldon system, where M is 60 designates a mint state coin with noticeable marks, and Miss 70 represents perfection. In the 1998 series, mint state 65 and above pieces are considered premium examples. Coins with mirror-like luster and crisp details often receive MS67 or MIMS68 grades from major services such as PCGs and NGC, the rarest. Gems with full steps and flawless surfaces can fetch substantial prices at auction, far exceeding face value. For example, a 1998 Jefferson nickel graded MS68 full steps once sold for hundreds of dollars, demonstrating the strong collector demand. For top-tier quality, even from common modern dates beyond technical details, the 1998 Jefferson nickel carries cultural resonance. It symbolizes the enduring stability of American coinage during a decade marked by economic growth, technological change, and optimism. The 1990s saw the rise of the internet, globalization, and digital finance. Yet amid all this transformation, the humble nickel remained physically unchanged. A small piece of continuity that linked Americans across generations. It circulated through gas stations, diners, vending machines, and school lunch lines, acting as both currency and quiet history bearer for millions of daily transactions. Every worn 1998 nickel tells the story of where it traveled, who spent it, and how it survived. The shift from analog to digital money. By the end of the decade, the mint was preparing for the 21st century, introducing new die preparation technologies and experimenting with laser engraving that would soon revolutionize coin detail. The 1998 issue stands as one of the last to rely entirely on traditional mechanical hubbing methods, making it historically significant. From a production standpoint, its craftsmanship bridges the hand-engraved past and the digitally engraved future. For this reason, advanced collectors often preserve high-grade 1998 nickels as time capsules representing the last chapter of purely mechanical die work in the Jefferson nickel lineage, When examining a 1998 Jefferson nickel, collectors look for several identifiers: sharp portrait detail, strong luster-defined steps on Monticello, absence of dye fatigue on the reverse rim, and clean fields free of marks or discoloration. Some examples may tone naturally over the years, developing golden violet or blue hues due to environmental exposure. Such toning can enhance aesthetic appeal and add unique personality to the coin, increasing its desirability within the hobby. Have you ever wondered how a simple 5-cent coin could hold a hidden story of American pride, minting evolution, and collector's treasure? All at once, the 1992 Jefferson nickel may look like just another everyday coin, but behind its familiar face lies a tale of craftsmanship, design perfection, and the enduring spirit of a nation that honors its heroes through metal. Today we uncover everything from the minting secrets to the rarest varieties, from market values to the subtle details that can make one nickel worth thousands. Get ready to travel through time and learn the full legacy of the 1992 Jefferson nickel, because this is not just a coin, it's a piece of living American history. The year was 1992, a time of change in American coinage. When precision technology met traditional craftsmanship, the Jefferson nickel remained a key part of the U.S. Mint's legacy, first introduced in 1938 to honor the third President of the United States, Thomas Jefferson, designed by Felix Schlag. This 5-cent piece became one of the longest-running coin series in American history. The 1992 issue carried forward this legacy, with a quiet strength maintaining the classical design elements that had represented Jeffersonian ideals for over half a century yet. Within this particular year, there were subtle transitions in minting practices and collector trends that made the 1992 Jefferson nickel a point of interest for both historians and numismatists. The obverse of the coin still displayed, the left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson with the inscriptions, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the year 1992. Jefferson's image retained the same dignified profile that had been originally sculpted by Schlag, though years of dye wear and minor adjustments to engraving details had softened and reshaped certain contours. By the early 1990s, the Philadelphia and Denver mints continued producing circulation nickels using the same copper-nickel alloy, a composition that had been stable since 1946, consisting of 75% copper and 25% nickel. The coin measured 21.2 millimeters in diameter and weighed 5 grams. It was non-magnetic and featured a plain edge. The reverse design continued to showcase Jefferson's home, Monticello, with the inscriptions E Pluribus Unum, Monticello 5 cents, and United States of America. Production of the 1992 Jefferson nickel was handled by two primary mints, the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. While the San Francisco Mint produced proof issues for collectors, the Philadelphia coins bore no mint mark, while Denver issues displayed the small D mint mark placed to the right of Monticello, below the E in Pluribus, and the San Francisco proofs carried the S mint mark in the same location. The mintage totals were relatively high, with Philadelphia producing over 600 million nickels and Denver striking around 500 million. The San Francisco Mint struck roughly 3 million proof coins. These proof coins were made with specially prepared dies, polished planchets, and multiple strikes to achieve sharp mirrored finishes, making them highly desirable among collectors. What makes the 1992 Jefferson nickel special is not merely its production numbers, but its place in the timeline of minting technology. During this period, the U.S. Mint was preparing for gradual design refinements and die-making improvements that would culminate in later changes of the late 1990s, while 1992 nickels did not feature a dramatic design alteration. The precision of die hubs and improvements in metal preparation led to better strike quality and sharper detail than in many earlier years. Collectors often note that full steps on the Monticello design indicate a superior strike, and these full step examples are highly sought after. In the 1992 series, a Jefferson nickel with 5 or 6 full steps visible on Monticello's baselines can dramatically increase in value because it represents near-perfect die alignment and strong striking pressure. Examples graded Mint State 65 with full steps can command impressive prices compared to average circulated pieces. The proof nickels from San Francisco stand out for their brilliance. Each was struck on carefully polished blanks under high pressure and handled with gloves to prevent blemishes. The resulting coins exhibit deep cameo contrasts between the frosted design and mirror-like fields. 1992, Proof nickels often showcase strong detail in Jefferson's hair and Monticello's columns, and many remain preserved in pristine condition in original. Mint packaging, however, small varieties exist even among proofs. Minor differences in dye polish or strike quality have led to collectors identifying cameo and deep cameo subtypes. The deep cameo examples tend to bring higher premiums due to their visual impact and limited population errors, and varieties in the 1992 Jefferson nickel series provide another layer of fascination. Off-center strikes, double dyes, and die cracks are occasionally found, though not as common as in some earlier years. One noteworthy variety to look for is the 1992 D over D repunched mint mark, in which the D mint mark was impressed twice at slightly differing angles. These coins can fetch several times their face value depending on condition. Other minor anomalies include weak strikes from worn dies or planche imperfections, but most of these carry small premiums unless visually striking the full steps. Variety remains the most famous collectible feature for this year, and grading services like PCGS and NGC often highlight FS designations in their certification labels. From a historical standpoint, the 1992 Jefferson nickel reflects stability and continuity in American coinage at a time when the nation was transitioning through economic recovery. In technological advancement, the mint maintained high output levels, while improving quality control systems. Coinage in the early 1990s became more consistent in weight tolerance and metal uniformity. This reliability was crucial for automated coin handling and vending systems that depended on exact metallic composition. The Jefferson nickel's enduring design served as a bridge between the classical era of numismatic artistry and the modern age of mechanized production for collectors. The 1992 nickel offers a fascinating study in condition rarity. While hundreds of millions were minted, only a small fraction remain in pristine, uncirculated states, and even fewer qualify for full steps designations. Coins stored in rolls or mint sets often retained luster and sharpness, while those in circulation quickly developed wear on Jefferson's cheek and hair, as well as flattening on Monticello's steps. This makes high-grade examples particularly appealing to those assembling. Registry sets condition becomes everything in such collections, where MS-67 or better examples are rare and can reach significant market values, especially when paired with a full steps attribution. Looking deeper into the cultural meaning of this coin, it represents a continuity of American values. Jefferson was chosen for the nickel not just because of his presidential role, but for his embodiment of Enlightenment principles, democracy, education, and architecture. The Monticello design is not just a building. It is a symbol of reason, structure, and national identity. Every 1992 nickel thus serves as a miniature monument to these ideals, silently passing through the hands of millions, yet preserving history in its form. The 1992 Jefferson nickel also connects to the evolution of die engraving technology. During this time, the mint had been transitioning from traditional hand-engraved master dies toward computer-assisted hubbing, though full digital design implementation was still a few years away. These intermediate steps allowed for finer replication of original details. This technological refinement is why many 1992 nickels have a sharper appearance than their counterparts from the 1980s. Even minor differences like the clarity of lettering or the distinct outline of Jefferson's jawline reflect the precision made possible by these advancements. Economically, the coin's face value remained unchanged at 5 cents, but in numismatic markets, its collector value depends heavily on condition, rarity, and grading demand. Circulated examples are easily found in pocket change, while uncirculated and proof versions, especially those with full steps or cameo finishes, attract specialized interest. Coin dealers often report that the 1992 Jefferson nickel marks the beginning of a renewed focus among collectors on modern-era nickels, as the mint prepared for upcoming design transitions that would eventually culminate in the Westward Journey series decades later. The close of 1992, the Jefferson nickel had completed over 50 years of continuous production, maintaining one of the most stable designs in U.S. coinage history. It survived through war, economic shifts, and multiple minting technologies, symbolizing resilience. The 1992 issue in particular stands as a testament to precision, consistency, and the subtle beauty of American coin design. When viewed under magnification, each line on Monticello, each curve of Jefferson's portrait speaks to the enduring dedication of the engravers and mint workers who carried forward Schlag's original vision with pride and craftsmanship. For collectors and historians alike, studying the 1992 Jefferson nickel offers not only a glimpse into American numismatic art but also an understanding of how even ordinary coins reflect extraordinary dedication. It is this blend of history, artistry, and technical mastery that continues to make the 1992 Jefferson nickel a coin worth exploring, preserving, and admiring. And as long as it continues to circulate or rest in the careful hands of collectors, it will keep telling the story of a nation's journey through metal and memory generation after generation. Imagine holding in your hand a small piece of American history, a coin that has passed through countless hands, witnessed the changing decades, and still carries the face of one of the most influential figures in the nation's story. Welcome to the fascinating world of the 1991 Jefferson nickel, a coin that might seem ordinary at first glance, but hides a remarkable legacy behind its simple shine. From the very beginning, the Jefferson nickel was more than just a 5-cent piece. It was a tribute to Thomas Jefferson, the principal author of the Declaration of Independence and the third President of the United States. Introduced in 1938, this coin replaced the long-running Buffalo nickel and brought with it a new artistic identity. Designed by Felix Schlag, whose portrait of Jefferson and depiction of his home Monticello became symbols of American heritage. The 1991 Jefferson nickel continued that proud lineage, but it arrived in a period of transition and subtle transformation that reflected not just the evolution of minting technology, but also the economic and cultural tone of early 1990s America. The early 90s were a time of optimism mixed with uncertainty. The Cold War had just ended. Technology was rapidly changing. Lives in American coinage was entering a new era of precision and consistency. The 1991 Jefferson nickel is part of that narrative, minted at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, with the typical composition of 75% copper and 25% nickel, the same alloy used since the end of World War II. Yet within those standard specifications lies a world of small variations, mint marks, design subtleties, and production numbers that make the 1991 issue a significant chapter for collectors and historians alike. The Philadelphia Mint struck over 635 million pieces, while the Denver Mint produced nearly 475 million, creating a massive circulation. But among them are coins that tell different stories. There are proof versions from the San Francisco Mint, crafted with mirror-like surfaces and frosted designs made especially for collectors. These coins show the artistry of American minting at its finest precision, strike smooth edges and a flawless finish that make them stand out in any collection. The 1991 Jefferson nickel also serves as a bridge between generations of collectors, older enthusiasts who had followed the design since the 30s, and younger numismatists who were just discovering the beauty and complexity of U.S. coinage. In 1991, the portrait of Jefferson had already become one of the most recognizable faces in American money, a symbol of leadership, intellect, and progress, while Monticello, on the reverse, stood as a constant reminder of architecture, innovation, and the pursuit of knowledge. To understand the importance of this coin, one must look beyond its metal value and explore its historical soul. The Jefferson nickel survived the great coin changes of the 60s. It outlived silver withdrawals. It adapted through wars, inflation, and modernization. In 1991, its continued use represented stability in a fast-changing world. When new designs and commemorative coins were being introduced, the Jefferson nickel remained steadfast, familiar, and trusted. Yet the beauty of the 1991 edition also lies in the fine details that are often overlooked. Collectors note the sharpness of the strike, the clarity of the steps on Monticello, known as full steps, a mark of quality that adds significant value to the coin, and the subtle differences in diewear that create varieties sought after by experts. Some rare examples show misstrikes or off-center impressions, while others exhibit unusual toning that can make each coin visually unique. The minting process of 1991 had advanced with better presses and higher quality control. Yet even then, small imperfections made their way into circulation, giving collectors today a fascinating field of study. Each mark, scratch, and die line tells its own story of production and passage through time. To put the 1991 Jefferson nickel in context, we must see how it fits within the broader history of U.S. coinage. The 90s were the final decade before a wave of redesigns struck American currency in the Early 2000s leading to the Westward Journey series and later the modern nickel with a new portrait of Jefferson. The 1991 issue thus stands as one of the last examples of the classic Schlag design before the Mint began to experiment with bolder, modern interpretations. It represents the end of an era where craftsmanship and tradition dominated before the dawn of computer-aided designs and digital engraving. From an economic perspective, the nickel in 1991 had already lost much of its original purchasing power. Yet it remained a vital component of everyday commerce and a symbol of the nation's enduring stability. Its simple metallic form connected generations, reminding Americans of shared history, even as the world around them modernized rapidly. And from a collector's viewpoint, this coin holds both sentimental and historical value, especially in pristine condition. Mint state examples graded MS65 and above fetch notable interest for their luster-sharp details and preserved history. As we journey deeper into the story of the 1991 Jefferson nickel, we uncover not only the tale of its design and minting, but also its role in American culture and memory. Each coin minted that year was a quiet witness to an age of change, from the rise of computers to shifting economies, from patriotic pride to the enduring fascination with the nation's founding ideals. The Jefferson nickel remains a symbol of durability and design continuity, linking modern America with its historic roots. Whether you hold one in your hand or see it under magnification, you are touching a moment in time, the craftsmanship of the U.S. Mint, and the vision of a founding father who still looks proudly across generations. The 1991 Jefferson nickel may not be the rarest coin, but its story is as rich as the metal. It's made from a piece of America that continues to circulate in the pockets of history, whispering tales of progress, heritage, and unity across decades. And as we unfold its journey layer by layer, you will see why this coin is far more than a mere 5 cents. It is a testament to endurance, artistry, and the unbroken legacy of the Jefferson nickel that has defined American coinage for nearly a century.